You're listening to Paranormal Salad Crouton. I'm JAX Ember, demonologist, investigator, and guide into the cracks between myth and scripture, between belief and blood. Tonight's fight, a little metallic, a little sacred. We're talking biblical vampires. Not Dracula, not Sparkles, but something older, something divine, something cursed. Don't forget to follow, comment, share. And let's begin, not with a monster, but with a woman. Before Eve, there was Lilith. According to apocryphal texts like the Alphabet of Ben Sira, a Jewish mystical manuscript written around the 8th to 10th century, Lilith was Adam's first wife, made from the same dust, equal in every way. But she refused to lie beneath him, refused to obey him, refused to be less. So she fled Eden, and God sent 3 angels to bring her back. When she refused, she was cursed. Lilith became the night demon, the mother of monsters, wandering the earth, her name associated with stillbirth, disease, and blood. Ancient Mesopotamian amulets show her with owl wings and talons. Some Jewish lore says she would drink the blood of newborns. Let me tell you something. When I was 18, still learning how to cleanse a mirror, I visited an old woman in New Mexico. She whispered that her family line was descended from Lilith, not metaphorically, literally. She kept red silk over every mirror in the house. She said Lilith watched her dreams. Her eyes, they glowed gold in the candlelight, she said. She died 2 days after my visit. No blood, but her lips, crimson. Now let's talk about the cursed wanderer. Yeah, let's pivot to Cain. Genesis tells us Cain kills his brother Abel, the first murder. And when God confronted him, Cain was cast out and marked, destined to wander the earth forever. And here's where it gets weird. Some early Christian Gnostics believed Cain's punishment wasn't just wandering, it was immortality, a living curse, to be feared, hated, never able to die. Sound familiar? There's even an entire vampire mythos within the tabletop RPG Vampire Masquerades, where Cain is the first vampire, the father of all bloodsuckers. And you might think that's just a game, but the lore, it's stretched from real theological threads, Kabbalistic fragments of the apocryphal, medieval superstitions. I once met a priest in Romania, Father Varga, who believed in the history, the theory. He kept silver nails under his bed and whispered of a prayer that roughly translate to, "May the marked one pass over this house." He told me, Cain doesn't drink blood for power. He drinks blood to forget. The sons of God saw the daughters of men were beautiful, and they took them as wives. Genesis 6, one of the weirdest passages in the Bible. The result? The Nephilim, giants, heroes of old men, men of renown. But in the book of Enoch, an apocryphal text buried for centuries, the Nephilim weren't just big. They were monsters. They consumed everything, animals, men, And when the earth could no longer feed them, they turned to blood. Yes, literally cannibalistic blood drinkers. Yeah, that's in the Bible. The book of Jubilees describes them as terrifying abominations. And some believe these hybrids were wiped out in the flood, not just for corruption, but for their thirst. The theory in demonology is some vampires aren't cursed humans, they're descendants of fallen angels. They don't need fangs, they need permission. You want to hear something they try to always pass over in seminary? Proverbs 30:15. The leech has two daughters. Give, give, they cry. In some interpretations, the leech isn't just a bloodsucker, it's a demon. Some rabbis believed it referred to a being who drained life from the living. A metaphor? Sure. But when metaphors keep repeating across cultures, maybe they're not. I once had a case in a small town outside of Baton Rouge. A woman swore her teenage daughter was being visited by a shadow with no eyes and a hungry mouth. Her dreams were filled with rivers of blood, and she woke up weaker every day. Here's the real question. Why do these vampire-like stories exist in sacred text? Maybe it's fear of death. Maybe it's guilt. Or maybe, just maybe, it's real. Vampires in the Bible aren't just night stalkers. They're not just monsters. They're metaphors for power gone wrong, divine punishment, lust without love, and the thirst that can never be quenched. You don't have to believe in literal vampires, but you should. You should believe in them. I do. But you should believe that there's something ancient walking with us, an echo of an older sin, wearing new faces, sipping quietly from our modern lives. I'm JAX Ember, and from my new home in Las Vegas, this is Paranormal Salad Crouton. Don't forget to follow, share, and comment. Have you ever seen a vampire? Have you talked to a vampire? Do you believe in vampires? And Carl and I have been doing a lot of looking into ancient American vampires. So I can't wait to give you more of that lore on upcoming croutons. Once again, I'm JAX Ember. And remember, stay safe, stay sane, and keep the lights on.